we can avoid that. You know how many renewal reviews we can go ahead and do in 2 hours? You could do 4 an hour. If you think about that right then and there, I could take payments for 1 client, or I could get to 8 clients proactively. That is what we're really talking about. So today I'm going to dive into everything having to do with the anatomy of a great renewal review call. And for those who don't know me, my name is Kelly Donahue-Piro. I'm the owner of Agency Performance Partners, blogger, traveler, insurance transformation specialist, you name it. Anything having to do with growing an agency is my jam. When we take a look at how we go about a renewal review, I think a lot of agencies struggle here because of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. One, they're fearful. Can their team do it? There's already so much pushback. Everybody's overwhelmed. How is this going to work? So that is step one. And the idea is you have to believe that being proactive solves so many problems, which we do put in the blog. I'll just give you a quick overview of all the problems that renewal reviews call solve. So if we reduce this, can we up that opportunity inside the agency to spend time on better things? Reduce inbound calls. One of the biggest things we focus on in a renewal review is getting people on painful EFT so you can stop making those inbound calls on payments. 10-minute transaction, 10 times 12, 2 hours a year taking payments for 1 client. We can avoid that. You know how many renewal reviews we can go ahead and do in 2 hours? You could do 4 an hour. If you think about that right then and there, I could take payments for 1 client, or I could get to 8 clients proactively. That is what we're really talking about. But reduce inbound calls because they know how to email you. They know about their online apps. They know about different things that can free up your time so you can follow up on sales. You can cross-sell. You can do the other things that are important in your agency. Boosted retention. We're going through a difficult market right now. The difficult market is going to stay. It's going to stay for a long, long, long time. Well, I shouldn't say long, like that sounds forever, but I would predict for at least a good year to 2 years, if not 3. So we have to have a proactive strategy on how to defend your retention. So often agencies focus growth on new business, new business, new business. And I'm sorry, but that's not the only way to grow. We can look at renewal reviews as opportunity. And this is a false belief many agency owners have. If I owned a book of business, I would probably not take any new business except for referrals for a whole year to 2 years while I cleaned up the book. That might sound crazy to people, but the idea is that I can boost retention, cross-sell, get referrals, increase coverage, get Google reviews. I can work the book with minimal marketing expense. And you know I'm a big believer in marketing, so this is not to say don't spend, but we can't spend and not have this blocking and tackling strategy into place. The idea is that when clients know your name, breaking up with you is 10 times harder. That's it. If I hear that, my agent's name is Chris Paradiso, you might know him. If I say, oh yeah, I'm with Paradiso Insurance, Chris Paradiso, somebody on the other end is like, damn it. But if I say I'm with Travelers, now all of a sudden people are like, score. That relationship is key. No one wants to have to break up with somebody. A reduction in remarketing. So I went through this simple math on payments, right? 2 hours a year spent on payments for 1 client. Well, imagine remarketing. Imagine we could cut your remarketing in half. So you're only remarketing the best accounts. You're remarketing out of preparation, not desperation. And when we can do that, we find more time in the day. But that all comes by being proactive. When someone calls you loaded up with their price gun, wanting to take a bite out of you, you're going to struggle. Increases in coverage. I love increases in coverage. Now, they'll probably buy more like a cup of coffee than they would lunch. However, I'm making it about coverage, not price. And that is a huge, huge, huge development. Account rounding. Our definition of account rounding is selling more within that department. So we have leads in our current customers. We've taken on a bunch of new clients for agency assessments. One of the first things I always look at is their book of business, personalized home to auto ratio. And I'm finding the last 3 customers we've onboarded as I'm reviewing their data, there's such a huge gap there. Let's not focus on new. Let's focus on this because I can hit retention. I can hit cross-selling. I can delight them. I can ask for a referral. I can take this one thing and turn it into 4 or 5 things that just makes it awesome. Cross-selling. So to me, cross-selling is going between departments. Does every commercial client have personal lines? Does every commercial client have benefits? Do we have health insurance? Do we have life insurance? We want to work that current book before we focus on new. Reduce E&O exposure. Nothing scares somebody more than finding a mistake on an account. It ruins your whole day, right? Well, by being proactive, we find those not in the event of a claim, but just in the normal day-to-day operations. Updated contact information. We cannot give wow customer service if we can't call somebody. It's true. And we need to think about automation of text messages, emails. The more efficient ways we can communicate, the better. More referrals. Hands down. The more you touch a book of business, the more you're going to get referrals. And so if you think of renewal review calls as opportunity, not a task, not something we have to do, not a burden, not thinking about price, you flip your mindset on renewal review calls, you will find that it's more and more like a sales process. It's an opportunity. It's a growth process. I don't even like to use the S word because it freaks a lot of people out in insurance, and I respect that. But this is an opportunity to grow from the right clients, right? So we sort of have 9 steps to a renewal call process. Be like, 9, Kelly, that's crazy. I'm highly going to encourage you, hit pause on this podcast or on this YouTube video right now, and you go to our blog and you download the free piece of content. So every one of our blogs has some free giveaway that we're giving to you to add value. So we give to get, right? If you like it, share it with a friend. We'd love that too. But download our renewal review call sheet. You will see a personal end example. Now you're going to look at it and be like, holy crap, Kelly, this is how many pages? Stop with the page nonsense. Follow me along on this podcast while looking at it. And here's why. The form is smart. It's a digital form, which means as we do the prep, it mirrors down to the call part. Because what we found is people don't want to go all over a form. They just want to go down to the next step. So we start, there's really 3 key pieces, and then there's some subsets. So getting ready for the call, what to do on the call, what to do after the call. And the form breaks down everything. You will hear me talk about processes a lot. I am not a fan of processes from the perspective of they sit on a shelf, they're dusty, no one ever knows about them. I think a form that has the process built into it is functional, usable, everybody sees it, easier to update. So a lot of times people come to us, we want processes. Awesome. Let's build a form. And they're like, well, what about this big, long? I'm like, I get it. Let's build a form. It's a document that they have to use every day. It guides them, tells you what to say, how to say it. It's not I'm on the phone with the client, I got to go grab something else. Forms are your key to success. So our 9 steps to a renewal call is prep, voicemail script, the introduction, getting updates from the client. Number 5 is coverage reviews. 6 is the rate discussion. 7 is the discount check. 8 is the conclusion and documentation. We have a bonus 9th section on if we have to remarket. So call prep. Can't share this enough with everybody. Your team needs to prepare for this call. Without preparation, it'll most likely go to rate, or it will be a BS call that has no value. And we're just going to tick off the customer because we didn't give them anything. All we did was just discuss how they're doing. If any changes, okay, call you later. The prep is going to go ahead and make sure, check what contact information we have. Did the rate go up out of variance that we're concerned about? What coverages do they have? Are they above or below our agency standard? This is your game plan. Now, people struggle with prep because we have many agents. In fact, we have a rubber ducky that says snorkel, don't scuba dive, that think of this like an underwriting document. It is not an underwriting document. It is getting ready for a call. So they scuba dive and they go through 10 years of documentation to find the year of the roof. And I just say, don't do that. If you can't get the information in under 30 seconds or a minute, move on. You're going to talk to half the people and they might have gotten a new roof. Don't spend 10 minutes looking for it. Ask the question. And so they end up creating all this extra work for themselves. All you're doing is familiarizing yourself with an account, with a checklist to make a phone call. Anything that happens on the call, you are a bright, intelligent individual who can navigate that call. So we get ready for the call, and you'll see that if you've downloaded the form. If not, because you're driving, I want you to call your office, have a message out for you, text yourself, email yourself, anything that's going on, but get that form in your hands. This is also part of our April. We're launching a whole course on how to make renewal calls. So if your team needs scripts, you need the commercial form, the farm form, how to use the form. We can either do this for you. You could do it yourself in our school, have one of our team members come out, or do it virtually. But I can tell you, this is one of the hardest programs we ever launched. Doing it with a coach will make you feel better, your team feel better, and get you a faster result. I digress. Next is voicemail script and documentation. How you leave a voicemail matters greatly. And we go through this in the blog. Hopefully you check it out. We go through this in the course and through our 6-month program on making renewal calls. but you have to leave a voicemail that's compelling. And I'm just going to say this. If you're leaving a voicemail and you're hoping the person doesn't pick up, that is the wrong attitude. You are going to get the talker on the phone because you put bad energy out in the universe. I'm just saying it out there. But having a script so we don't say, hi, this is Kelly from Donahue Insurance and want to call and review your insurance. Cool. Nope. Not going to call you back. Doesn't sound important to me. Sounds optional. Sounds like a courtesy call. I'm good. I got other things to do today. If you leave a compelling voicemail that says, hi, this is Kelly. I'm your insurance agent from Donahue Insurance. I wanted to give you a quick call. I got your renewal in. There's some things I definitely want to go over with you. Please call me this week so that we can go over your homeowner's policy with Travelers. I look forward to speaking to you this week. I would call that person back. You have to give people the tools to get this done. We also need to know how to document this. So we talk about documentation. All right, let's say we get them on the phone. Let's be honest. Most people aren't thinking you're going to call them today. They're in the middle of something. They're at work. They've got a million other priorities. We need to be impressive, hook them, friendly, kind, educational, but give them a reason to stay on the call with you. So if you pick up the phone and say, hi, this is Kelly with Donahue Insurance. Do you have time to talk about your insurance? No, I'm good. Click. That is the best way to get off a call. That's not a valuable call. That's not the point of this relationship. So we actually talk about the intro, how to compel people. There's a little script on the form. Again, we go through this in great detail. There's role-playing videos that we go through. We have everybody write things out. This is a huge thing. It sounds like a minor step that everybody should know. You'd be shocked when we listen to recorded phone calls, what we hear. So you want to go ahead and say, how do we open the call? And then how do we get contact information? So even if a person can't hang, we at least get updated contact information for everybody on the account, which means that even though I'm the primary contact in my account, my agency should have my husband's contact information, phone call, email, cell. What if you can't get me? You got to try them. What if he calls in? We need that info. He deserves it because he's home all day getting the insurance renewal or coming in being like, what? You need to have all parties' contact info. And that's a big part of getting this going in the renewal reviews. Next up, updates. So before we go into price, if somebody said, what's my rate? We say, great, I'm going to deal with that in a little bit. I need to get all the updates because your rate may adjust. We can often find discounts, updates can help your rate. So let's go through these questions. And we have a whole list of questions that you should be asking people. Now you can choose to add or delete some of the questions. That is totally your choice. If you work with us, we customize this whole form for you that you can see. However, I want the updates because I want to know, maybe they got a great new job. Maybe they bought an RV. Maybe their roof is new. Maybe they got a security system. Maybe they've doubled their business size. Maybe they've outsourced a bunch and their employees are lower. I want to know all of this so that I can guide their insurance renewal. We can't get to rate at all until we start getting the updates. And we're going to start understanding where everything is, what's new. And I can't tell you how many agencies have done this and been shocked at some of the things that people have that they've never told them about. People put additions onto their houses. That's a house on a house. Commercially, people have doubled in size of the same policy. Not cool. So we need to make sure that you're always, always, always looking at that. So next up is coverage review. Again, we're not talking about price yet. We're going to say this is what you have. This is what we recommend. So whether that's cyber liability, EPLI, rental car reimbursement, let's have those conversations. I can tell you our COO drives a freaking Suburban because she's got 4 kids under 12. If you put her in a $20 a day rental car, she's going to have to spend half her day just doing school drop-offs and pickups because she's going to have to rotate around town so many times. You have to have these. People are willing to pay more for convenience today. So don't back off from it. And if they say no and they decline a coverage, document it and move on. So if they have an issue later on, be like, oh, at our last renewal, you declined that. Do you remember that? Wow. Now we've just saved a frustrated customer. Now we go into rate discussion. So twofold here. If the rate does not go up above the agency standard, we just say, hey, your rate went up about average of what we're seeing, couple bucks, leave it at that. If it goes up more, we talk about it, but we only talk about it in monthly figures. And we don't freak about it. Instead, we just chill, let the person respond, and then get back to business. Now, if they freak, we go to discount checks. We don't go to remarket. We now scrub the account for every discount we can. That's step 7. We have a whole list of common discounts. We even recommend you take your top carriers, maybe add them into the form so that it's super clear. But there's a lot of discounts. And if people say, no, I don't want telematics. No, I don't want to go paperless. No, I don't want to do this. Guess what they're doing? Agreeing to pay what they're paying. You're offering relief. They're saying no. If they want the policy, they want it. They may have to pay a little bit more for it. Then we conclude, which is thanking them for their business, updating them on all the changes they're going to make, setting appointments for cross-sells, account rounds, or if we have to remarket. You're not going to email those quotes. We're going to set appointments. And then we have a bonus section at the end of documenting your call as well as underwriting a remarket. Again, this takes it so everybody's renewal calls are like Starbucks. If I go there, the coffee's the same. Everybody's guided. They can't get flustered. Now, the more they do them, the more comfortable they get. But I make forms for the 3:30 on Thursday moment where I have 3 working brain cells. I'm tired. And the hardest customer calls me back. I just need to pull up the form and ask the next thing in line. And you will see you give people a lot of comfort and stability in doing that. So your takeaways, check out our course, get this form. It's free. You can download it from the blog or podcast or YouTube video, wherever you are. If you're driving, I'm sorry. Don't do this and get into an accident, okay? I can't stress enough, your team needs a strategy to retain customers. This is your strategy. We have it. Don't recreate the wheel. Come to us for help. Even if it's just our online school and you want to do it yourself, that's awesome. But here's the challenge. Don't let your team go fight the forest fire alone. You have to lead your troops. That is the most important key element today.